At Nanelle Griselda, please Nanelle, can I come to the UK through an invitation and secure a job there while on visit and apply for Tier 2 visa while still in UK for visitation? Assuming I'm in UK with visiting visa, can I apply to those jobs? Can I apply for a job as a care assistant with a visitor's visa in the UK? Okay, I'm going to answer you guys today in this video. I'm going to answer you as usual into detail with proof. Okay, just stay with me. Okay, just stay with me. Said it before. Hey, stop that. Let me give a disclaimer, okay? I am not an immigration officer, an immigration advisor, or an immigration lawyer. Everything is just based on research from the internet. And I'm going to leave links to whatever I say and whatever I show you in the description so you can just head over and read them for yourself, okay? Do not let this replace professional immigration advice, okay? As much as possible, if you need detailed or unique or specific immigration advice, contact a professional immigration officer or immigration advisor, okay? If your question is, will the UK Visas and Immigration allow me to apply for a visit visa with the sole purpose of coming to search for a job in the UK? If that is your question, and you want to know if that is possible, surprisingly, yes, it is possible. And it's allowed, yes. Let me show you. This is the casework or the guidance for visit visas to come to the UK, okay? I'll leave the link in the description so you can head over and read it for yourself. When you open the link, go to job seeking and I read Appendix Visitor Permitted Activities. Visitors are permitted to come to the UK to seek employment and attend job interviews. Visitors are permitted to come to the UK to seek employment and attend job interviews. However, you must be satisfied. So this is the part of the immigration rules that applies to those that are deciding on your visa. This is what the immigration officers look at to give you your visa, okay? So it is speaking to them. Right. So it says, however, you must be satisfied that should they be successful in obtaining employment, they will leave the UK and seek the appropriate entry clearance prior to commencing work. In assessing whether they are a genuine visitor, you should consider the nature of the employment that they are seeking, whether there's an entry clearance route available for such employment. Let me break it down. The UK Visas and Immigration says, yes, visitors are allowed to come to the UK for job seeking purposes or for interviews, okay? The immigration officer deciding on your visa whether to grant you or not, they should be satisfied that when you come here and get the job, you go back and reapply for the correct kind of visa, like a work visa, and then come back before you start your work in the UK. Also, the job that you are coming to do should be a job that will give you entry to the UK so that they know that if it's a job that will give you like a visa to come and reside in the UK, then definitely when you get that job, you do the right thing because that job will give you the rights to come and live in the UK. So example is a care assistant job. Please, let me also say that this video does not apply to doctors that are coming to write the PLAB 1 or the PLAB 2 and then look for jobs, or nurses that are coming to do the OSCE and then look for jobs. Your case is totally different, okay? Although you be coming on a visit visa, I'm planning a video on that topic for nurses and doctors that are coming here to do an exam and then later look for jobs. That is a completely different thing. So this does not apply to you. This is for those that are coming to search for care assistant jobs, care jobs, and other jobs, okay? Know that to apply for a visit visa, there are so many things that you have to prove. You have to prove that when you come here, you'll be able to take care of yourself by showing proof of funds. You have to prove that when you come here, you have accommodation, or you have to prove, in this case, you have to prove that you are really coming for a job interview. How will you prove that? You should probably have a prospective employer who has sent you an invitation, like a genuine valid invitation to come for an interview. But the thing is, you are even coming because you don't have a job. You are coming to search for a job. So how would you even prove this? So that is the main challenge. So that makes this route unlikely for you to come. And again, these days, most of the time, interviews are done online. So I don't think an employer will give you a letter stating that you should come in person to do an interview. If you have all those documents, if you have like an employer seeking that you come in person to have an interview and you can prove the other things that you need to apply for a visit visa, yes, you can use that as a sole purpose of you coming to the UK, especially if it is a job that will allow you to reside in the UK once you get it. You understand? So yes, the UK government allows you to come here on a visit visa in search of a job, especially to attend a job interview. But like I said, you'd have to prove this, which is going to be a bit difficult. Okay. By the way, this video is proudly sponsored by Lemonade Finance. Guys. So the Lemonade Finance is a money transfer app that allows you to send money from the UK and Canada to 10 different African countries. To countries like Ghana, to Nigeria, to Tanzania, to Benin, to Ivory Coast, to Rwanda, to Benin, to Kenya at no charge. no transfer costs, nothing at all. Okay, you can download Lemonade Finance whether you use an iPhone or whether you use an Android phone, and I'll leave the link in the description. Okay, and when you're transferring money above £100, just use the referral code Nanelle. You know what happens when you use Nanelle? You get 10% of the money you're transferring back into your account. If you send £100 and then you use my code Nanelle, you get £10 back. If you send £200 and use the code Nanelle, you get £20 back. Is that not amazing? Yes. So download Lemonade Finance and transfer money immediately to friends and family back home. Okay, they'll be launching in other European countries, US, and other African countries very, very, very soon. Chillax. Okay, immediately they do that, I'll be the first to let you know. So download Lemonade Finance and transfer money using the referral code Nanelle. Okay, now let's talk about those that are, coming on just a regular visits to visit family or to visit friends or to tour the UK, and they want to use that opportunity to apply for jobs. That is also allowed. But like I said, even if you are successful, even if you come here to visit a friend or a family or as a tourist, and then you are successful in applying for a job and then you get it, even if you get it and you're successful, you cannot work on a visit visa in the UK. You would have to apply for a work visa or a tier 2 visa. And the UK government does not allow you to switch from a visit visa to a tier 2 visa. So you'd have to travel back to your country, reapply for a tier 2 visa with the right documents. I have video on that. And then get your visa, come back here before you start your work. So you will not be able to switch. And let me read it from the gov.uk website, okay? So it says, who cannot apply to switch to this visa? It's talking about tier 2 visa. It says, you cannot apply to switch to this visa if you are currently in the UK on 1, a visit visa, 2, a short-term student visa, then it goes on. If you are in the UK as a student, like a full-time student on a tier 4 visa, you can switch to a tier 2 visa while still in the UK. You can't. As you are in the UK, let's say you are in an university and then you are done with your course or you're almost done and then you get a job here. You can apply within the UK for a work visa and switch from your student's visa to a work visa. But if you're on a visit visa, even if you get a job, you cannot switch in the UK to a tier 2 visa. You'd have to travel back to your country, reapply for a tier 2 visa, be granted the visa, and then travel back. You understand? Okay. Let's say you come on a visit visa. Maybe you have cousins here, you have uncles or aunties here, and then you want to just use that opportunity to come. You apply for the visa, you get it, you get here. Let me ask you, what really is your plan when you get here? Tell me, what really is your plan? Is it your plan to go care home by care home, private hospital by private hospital, trust by trust, and then just show up at the front door and say, I'm looking for a job? Is that your plan? Let me tell you a story. So sometime in February, I was doing day shift, there was a doorbell at my care home in the morning. So I was going to open it because I was close to the door, the entrance at the time. So I was just going to check who it was. And there was another lady that was also going to do the same thing. So we just got there together, another staff. So when we got there, I opened the door and then there was a gentleman. Obviously from his looks and his accent and everything, it shows that he was a foreigner. So I asked him why he's here and then he said he's looking for a job. I didn't know what to say, but the other lady was like, do you have an appointment? And then he said, no. So I was like, are you here to see somebody specifically? He said no. So anyways, we went to call the HR, or let me say the administrator, and then he was laughing. When he saw the guy, he was giggling a bit. And it's not like he's mean, but it's because we hardly see these things in 2022. We hardly see these things. For you to show up at the door of a company and say, I want a job, it's a bold step. It's admirable. But these days it hardly happens, especially with COVID. Do you have an appointment? Most companies are going to refer you back. And that's what our administrator did. He said, go back and apply online. That's what he told the guy. Because at the time there was COVID, you don't just show up there and all that. At that time, we were very short too. Our company was really short, but they asked the guy to go back and apply online. So let me tell you this, if that is your plan, you might face some of these things. You show up and they will tell you to go back and apply online. Okay. However, there could be some managers that are really desperate and will be amazed that you took that bold step and might consider you. Okay. So is 50-50, but nothing is assured. Let's say they are impressed and they say, we are really short, we want to interview you, can you come in tomorrow for an interview? And you go for the interview and then you pass the interview. First of all, like I said earlier, you cannot work on a visit visa. Every employer, whenever you employ somebody, you're supposed to prove the person's rights to work in the UK. Every UK employer is supposed to check a job applicant's rights to work, and this is boldly stated on the gov.uk website. You're supposed to take their passport or their biometric residence permit, that's the BRP, that shows that they have the legal permission to reside in the UK and they have the rights to work in the UK. So if you want a job like this, if you want a genuine job, okay, you may have to prove your right to work to your employer. And if they see your passport and it's a visit visa, already they know you don't have the rights to work. So that it's to your detriment. Unless unless the company has a sponsor license, okay, and they are able to recruit people from outside the UK. Not every company has the right to recruit internationally, okay? So if a company wants to recruit internationally, they have to apply for a sponsorship license from the Home Office. So the company that you are going to, do they even have a sponsorship license? Have you already checked online? There's a link to check if a certain company has that license. I'll leave that link in the description as well. So that company that you went to that gave you the job, do they have the sponsorship license? That's another thing that you're supposed to check. Okay, so let's say they realize you don't have the rights to work in the UK and they don't have a sponsorship license. That's done. And remember, if you work on a visit visa, it's a criminal offense because it's boldly written that you're not allowed to work in the UK on a visit visa. So if you do that, it's a crime. And any employer that employs you, regardless of you not having the rights to work in the UK, would also face criminal charges from the government if caught. And let me show you. It says you could face a civil penalty if you employ an illegal worker and have not carried out a correct right to work check. The right employer, the ones that go by the law, most of them, especially for care workers and care companies, they don't want to lose their company because of you. They would go by the law, so they will not recruit you on a visit visa, and if they do, they can face a civil penalty. So that means even if you get to the UK, you have to look for employers that have a sponsorship license. That's another task. Okay, let's say you enter a care home and they say, oh, okay, you need a job. Okay, they are likely to send you back home and conduct the interview online with the same internet that you could have done the interview with online back in your home country. So you see where I'm going. So it's a bit unrealistic to walk into companies and then apply for jobs in 2022. It's a bit unrealistic. So if that's your plan, that's why you want to come here and be here. Or if you think that you're coming for an interview, these days most interviews are conducted online. And even if that's your plan to walk into care home by care home, the people that you're going to, do they have sponsorship license? And do they have the rights to recruit internationally? And are you willing to go back to your country? That's another flight too, and then fly back to start your job. Or you rather spend all the time aggressively searching online from your home country, just like others have done and have been successful. What would you really do? So these are the things. If you're a doctor and then you've passed the PLAB 1 and you're coming to write the PLAB 2, that's different. If you're a nurse and you've passed the CBT and the IELTS and you're coming to write the OSCE, that's totally different, and I'm planning a video on that. But if you're only coming on a visit visa to search for a care job, unless you know a particular care home, right? And let's say you have a friend there and your friend has managed to tell the manager that, oh, I have a friend who's a nurse back home. She's very hardworking and she happens to be around. This company should be a company that has the sponsorship license. And then your friend will say, my friend is very hardworking. She's visiting me in the UK. Would you like to interview her? Manager, I tell you, she's a hard worker. And then the manager says, okay, let her come to see me tomorrow. And then you go there and then you impress them during the interview. And the manager says, I'll recruit you. Because sometimes when people see you and then they see your personality, they can fall in love with you and then say that, okay, go ahead. That to me is not something that can happen, easily. So these are the facts. Even when you come and get a job, you have to travel back and reapply for a tier 2 visa. And when you come here, you can't enter company by company asking them to employ you. And even if you enter company by company, you have to be sure that those companies have a sponsorship license, unless you are ready to persuade them to go and get the license from the Home Office to employ you. You cannot work on a visit visa in the UK if that's what you're thinking. You'd have to prove your rights to work to your employer. And you need a BRP with an NI number and all those things to be able to work in the UK. And clearly you have a visit visa and no employer wants to risk their company by recruiting you when you don't have the rights to work in the UK. If you want to apply for a visit visa with the sole purpose of coming to search for a job, like I read from the casework guidance, it's allowed, but you have to prove that you're coming for a job interview. And already you don't even have the job, that's why you're coming. So, and most job interviews are these days conducted online. So these are the facts of the case. Honestly, to me, I think it's not worth it because applying for visa is expensive unless you're already coming here to have fun with your family. That's it. But if not, I would rather say that, in my opinion, apply aggressively from back home with God, diligence, and not giving up. You can be successful. Like I said, I'm not an immigration advisor. Do not let this replace immigration advice. Thank you so much for watching. Guys, it took me a while to do this research. Please subscribe, please, and like the video. Thank you.